Today we got types of people on the last day of school. This video is by Jora Wizzy, so if you like the video, make sure to go show them some love. And make sure to like my video too, of course. Let's get into the video.
School must be studied as the most diabolical day of the school year. Kids would legitimately do anything out of the ordinary, like they're in an episode of Uncle Grandpa or some shit. I swear, these niggas be looking like angels for the whole school year, but on the last day of school, their whole personality does a 180 like Zion Williamson. So today, we will be talking about the different types of students on the last day of school. The first thing we have to talk about is the people who are failing all their classes. Bro, these niggas never show up to class more than 3 times, never did a single assignment and fail all their tests, but will go down on their knees like they're Ash Cash or some shit and beg the teachers to pass them. My nigga, your grade is lower than the average rating of season 8 of Game of Thrones. How you expect the teacher to bump up a grade by 40% without getting fired? We also have the kids who start handing in every single assignment. Yo, it could be the first.
I'm telling you, bro. Like the video was just gonna say, they would literally turn in every assignment ever given, from the first to the last to everything in between, just to pass. But they didn't have that same energy during the school year. And the thing is, teachers be letting them turn in all that work. They'll say no late work, no late work. They'll say no late work the whole school year. But if you have a 3 in the class and you turn in all that work from last year, they'll pass you. How's that fair? Luckily, I was never in that situation. I did pretty decent in school. But niggas actually go through this and actually relate to that. Couldn't be me. Shout out to all the people who passed last minute.
First piece of assignment that we got all the way in September, and they expect the teacher to mark it. So now the teachers they start looking like a paper shop. I low-key feel bad for these niggas because these teachers mark slower than a fucking turtle. It could be an assignment that I know I did well on and these teachers don't even mark it. But on the other hand, when I do badly on an assignment, they turn into the Flash, and before I even reach home, my mark drops lower than the fucking Titan.
Okay.
And for any person who thinks you can pass the course, if you have lower than a 30, just put the summer school in the bag, bro. The next thing we have to talk about is the people who skip classes on the last day. Bro, this doesn't make any sense. What's the point of you coming to school if you're not gonna be in class? But to be honest, I don't even blame them, because on the last day of school, classes are even more emptier than the chum bucket. I would skip the last day, but my parents were too young to go to school, saying,
No, I think I just twice in school. Like, I'm going to school because I gotta go, but I'm not in class. But this was really, I never really skipped class for real. This was the only day I did.
some bullshit like you're gonna learn something important today. Bro, for the majority of the school year, I never learned shit, and they expect me to learn something on the last day of school. ChatGPT and Quillbot, low-key, been moving like 2015 Messi and Neymar when it comes to carrying my grade. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. On the last day of school, teachers don't make us do any work, so it leads to some of the best moments in school. But one thing that makes me angry is the teachers who give us work on the last day. My nigga, why is you giving me homework and assignments on the last day of the school year? This is the last time I'm gonna see you, and this is how you wanna end things. The next thing that we have to talk about is the people who cry on the last day of school. I swear, I will never understand why motherfuckers be crying on the last day. My nigga, you don't have to do homework and tests for the next 2 months, and the reason why these niggas be crying is that they won't see their friends again in school. Relax, bro. It's not like they're gonna go to a remote location like Davy Jones' locker. Yo, you do realize you can meet each other over the summer break. The only valid reason that I will excuse this treasonous behavior is if it's the last day in 8th grade and high school. But if you're in any other grade, you do realize that the same people.
And even then, the only way I excuse that is if you know they not going to the same high school, or like they moving out of state or something. That's when. But with 12th grade, it's kind of different. Because I promise, you'll be so locked in with a group of people. Y'all graduate high school, and y'all barely talk after that. You get in a situation where you need help, them niggas will not help you, bro. Or if they do help you, they gonna throw it in your face. I'm saying that, I've been through it, bro. I've been through both, actually. I got a few friends, quote unquote friends, I follow on Instagram. Bro, They didn't help me at all, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. And if you feel like I'm dissing you, I am, nigga. If the shoe fit, wear it. But yeah, they won't help you, bro. And they don't be reaching out. And if they do, they be on the same stuff they was on when we was in school, bro. But yeah, like people be crying over friends. Friends, the real definition of friends, somebody who got your back all the time, who gonna be on your side no matter what. They gonna be on your side. If you wrong, they gonna be wrong with you in public, but in private, they gonna tell you to lock in and you gotta fix that, and they gonna hold you accountable. That's what a real friend is, bro. People be crying over friends just cause y'all both like Naruto. Like an anime don't that's just something y'all got in common. That don't mean y'all gonna be friends. That's not real friends. Y'all just like the same thing.
We are crying about are gonna be here in September. It's not like they're gonna disappear like Gary when he left SpongeBob. The hallways will be filled with people bawling their eyes out and hugging each other tighter than a mother and a newborn baby. You would swear to God that everyone was on the verge of going to war or some shit. But the most aggravating thing is the kids who started hugging the teachers and giving them presents. Yo, this could be the strictest teacher that deadass looked you in the eyes and told you to hold your bladder in for the whole class. The niggas that usually do this are the teacher's pet. The teacher's pet are the most infuriating people I have ever laid my eyes upon. It takes a lot for me to dislike someone, but these niggas be doing the most. Like remind you that we have one that the test wasn't hard. So on the last day, these niggas are impressed. The class clowns are also in the same boat. These niggas are feeling more depressed to wear tentacles. So one of the best feelings about the last day of school is the fact that we won't be in school for 2 more months. I don't know about you, but I'd be happier than when SpongeBob was on his best day ever. Never have I ever once woken up on a school day and on the last day of school, I put on new emos and some shit.
This is someone who never hated being at home. If you hate being at home and all you gotta do is do some assignments, because we been real, school isn't hard. They be teaching some BS, and sometimes the tests be hard. But outside of the test, you're not studying for real. You listen in class, then you take the test, and then you do alright on the test, and then you just keep it pushing. You ain't never hated seeing it's 3:15 and it's time for you to go home. You ain't have to deal with that, huh? It's fine. It's good. Look, I'm glad. I'm happy for him that he liked being at home. Me, I didn't like school that much, but the friends I had, we was laughing all that. I would rather do that than being at the crib. And now I'm in college, so I ain't got that problem no more. But yeah, he never had to go through that. You couldn't have by you just saying you're not gonna be at school. You're not gonna be at school, bro. But I'm gonna be at home with that monster, bro. You don't understand. You ain't been through what I've been through. You wouldn't know. You don't know about this, bro.
But there's always those people who are too excited when school ends. They be destroying the entire school, like breaking the toilets, smashing the chairs, and drawing on the walls. Yo, don't even get me started about all the paper that's being thrown away. I don't know if it's just my school that does this, but whenever it's the last day of school, everyone gets pieces of paper that they have, throw them in the halls. I low-key be feeling sorry for the school janitors who have to clean up all this shit. Yo, if I saw this when I'm walking in, yo, I would have quit my...
No. If I'm a janitor, I'm quitting on the spot. Give me my last check and I'm leaving. I'm not cleaning this up. No. Actually, every student grab one piece of paper. It's enough. Nah, that won't even be enough. Yeah, I'm not cleaning this up, bro.
The next thing that we have to talk about is the people who fight on the last day of school. School fights are the most common occurrences that take place on the last day. Them bitches are even more common than a black person in KFC. It's like a yearly tradition at this point, like Christmas or Easter. Yo, as soon as the bell rings, we see 2 niggas throwing hands like they're in Tekken or some shit. So now the entire school starts spawning out of nowhere like when Naruto summons his shadow clones. The teachers come and try parts in the fight like when Moses parts the Red Sea. These niggas think that just because it's the last day of school, they won't get in trouble. The principal just suspends them for the start of the next school year. On the last day of school, I often see people confessing their feelings to their crush. Bro, this is quite possibly the worst thing that you can do. So you see this person every single day for 9 months, and you're doing it a day before summer vacation. To be fair, I understand the tactics. Yo, if they get rejected, they don't have to see each other for 2 months, and if they get them, they can spend the summer with each other. The best advice for any guy in high school is to never approach a girl in a group. She could be the kindest and quietest person, but as soon as she's with her friends, her personality does a 180 like Mr. Cracker. The last thing that we have to talk about is the people who ask you to sign their yearbook. These people are the most insufferable people you will meet on the last day, and most of the time it's the people who you've never met once in school. So you sign their yearbook and they expect you to sign one for them. I swear, most of these people be putting some shit in my yearbook, and some of these people handwriting be looking like a fucking ancient language. There's also the kids who start asking the teachers to sign their yearbook. Bro, at this point, their yearbook start looking like a coloring book with the amount of signatures. The last thing that we have to talk about is the guys that every girl wants to sign their yearbook. I honestly have never been more jealous than seeing these people. These girls are on their knees, pause, just to ask someone to sign.
Literally, ain't gonna lie. Like, people sign your yearbook, you literally just a memory, bro. Unless you had a big significance to them, you're just a memory. If you looking back at it, it really is pointless. Especially because I got a yearbook. I think I got a yearbook, but I got kicked out right after graduation, and that yearbook is still with my dad. It's still with my family, bro. I don't even have it, and I don't even talk to anybody from school anyway. Mine is my girlfriend, so this is pointless. You just become a memory to everybody, and that's really all it is. It's just a book that you open every few years, and you be like, oh yeah, I remember him. Then you look at people's school quote and see which ones was true and which, like, what they was back then, and yada yada. Some of them people in 30 years still gonna be doing what they doing right now. You know, some people gonna be rich. I'm trying to be one of them. And yeah, some people got kids. Like, I know one dude, he got a kid on the way. You know, it's just a memory. Everybody doing their own thing, and you just gonna be a memory in a book. That's it for this video. If you like the video, make sure to go show some love to him. Tell me what y'all think about the type of people on the last day of school, who your least favorite and who your most favorite. And yeah, with that being said, I post twice a day, so you don't want to miss that. And yeah, I'm gonna see y'all in the next one.